The return of my Coin Lady channel brings me much joy. The impending doom has been verified by an employee of Ripple. It will have a profound impact on the cryptocurrency industry as a whole and on XRP in particular. Prior to delving into the details of current events, future developments, and the reasons behind the impending rapid transformation of this entire space, including XRP, in response to developments surrounding tokenization and transactional flows, among other topics, I would like to elaborate on a few points. Now, let's begin with this post from Ripple. They were present at WebEx Asia in full force. Marcus Inventia, SVP of Ripple X Development, spoke about the opportunities for traditional finance with RWA tokenization. They were honored to have Yoshitaka Koteo, CEO and chairman of SBI Holding, stop by their booth as well. It should be noted that Marcus Inventia has been highly vocal regarding the XRP ledger's current state. No, I am not referring to this particular individual, however, we have until we meet again, Tokyo. Just have a look at the list of those that showed up to this gathering. It wasn't as simple as SBI holding the positions of chairman and CEO. The list also included MasterCard, Bank of Japan, and others. It was a major occurrence. Additionally, in several of these gatherings, Ripple speakers will be discussing topical issues, such as RWA tokenization or institutional DeFi. I think it's fascinating that some of the biggest names in traditional finance, like Moscarp or central banks, are showing up at these events and expressing agreement with these employees. However, I also think that institutions are starting to take this space seriously. Plus, I believe that the year 2024 was when things really began to shift. This shift occurred in 2024, when these institutions began to openly discuss and act upon their interest in crypto technology, rather than just talking about it. They began to embrace the technology and collaborate with crypto entrepreneurs. As a result, the institutional side of crypto is beginning to undergo fast change. By the way, do you recall this as well? This all starts in July. In this episode of Tony Edwards' podcast, Thinking Crypto 1, we discuss the crypto revolution. Tokenization is being adopted by conventional banks and other financial organizations. Considering the implications for the other major actors who are idly awaiting orders, this is certainly a more significant matter. These major players have finally realized, this is serious and we can do this because tokenization has opened a way for them. At long last, we may follow BlackRock's lead and tokenize within the space. On top of that, they understand that BlackRock is BlackRock. To put it another way, they aren't left out in the cold. Furthermore, we must also begin to take this seriously if they are. And I think that's why a lot of these major institutions are finally jumping on the bandwagon and declaring their love for the space. The future is here. This requires our undivided attention. We've arrived at the moment when everything must be done. Additionally, it was the same signature back in May market who stated that our tokenization conversations with TradFi had grown far more concrete. Now that they've brought concrete use cases to Ripple, we should expect banks to be prepared for widespread blockchain adoption in the near future. Now, I recently published a post on X discussing widespread adoption in a similar vein. Anderson said, and this is a controversial opinion, that the retail sector will not be the site of the crypto economy's big breakthrough. So I was citing him. It was his move. I did all in my power to get El Salvador's economy to accept Bitcoin, but it never happened. You should take that as a clue. Because of the president of El Salvador openly embracing Bitcoin and mentioning that it hasn't yet experienced widespread adoption, I firmly believe that it is mostly a back-end product. The fact that a single Bitcoin is extremely wasteful is another contributing factor. But Lightning is a question that will be asked by all. How about this? Well, how about that? Layer 2 goods and networks are extremely inefficient and prone to hacking and attacks, the ones you have to rely on. Therefore, no one is keen on making actual use of it. It's quite wasteful. I am appalled. Bitcoin really isn't ready for usage in transactional use cases just now. I get the impression that many Bitcoin maxis and developers are somewhat denying that. Instead of accepting it, they reject it. I want to clarify that it's not biased. You know, it's not like I'm claiming that Bitcoin is bad just because I prefer XRP or some other digital asset. Sure, I'll be honest, Bitcoin isn't great for anything other than transactions. Bitcoin is still in its early stages and is not suitable for use in financial transactions, as some of its developers have been known to confess. The technology isn't here just yet. It was still early. Beyond that, though, I will state my very unpopular position. The largest banks, which are now banking billions of people, will make the greatest stride forward with crypto by integrating crypto technology into their banking user interface. Even if it pains those of us who live in the past to hear, every Bitcoin maxi has enthusiastically embraced institutionalization at this point. When people use this technology on a daily basis, they may not even realize it's happening. This is readily accomplished by letting them utilize names they are already familiar with, but in a lot more efficient way than before, using a different user interface. And consider it, wouldn't you agree? No changes to their business strategy are necessary for these large banks. All it takes is access to these cutting-edge tech tools. Take pleasure in the fact that those ridiculous costs aren't imposed on them. They can run these procedures at far cheaper costs. They may keep charging the same amount to their customers and still satisfy their hunger. Nothing has to be changed. But now, the consumer is experiencing significantly more efficient procedures without even being aware of the new technology they are utilizing. But consider this, many of those large financial institutions have been collaborating with Ripple for quite some time, and I have no doubt that they have these kinds of use cases prepared, exactly as Marcus and Majoret informed you. Additionally, tokenization. Here we have Ripple's and XRP drops. The XRP ledger is potentially the most exciting development in the cryptocurrency industry at the moment, and it is the leading provider of infrastructure. U.Today published an article expanding upon the points made by David Schwartz. The post mentioned Ripple's XRP ledger, which may be the most talked about cryptocurrency at the moment, and the fact that it is the leading infrastructure provider. Regarding the expansion of institutional access to DeFi by the tokenization of real-world assets, here we have an example from Chad Sangraber's Year 2, Day 24, Ripple. Achieving dominance as the world's preeminent provider of XRP-based financial network infrastructure is the ultimate objective. And finally, Ripple. In order to provide clients all around the world with secure and compliant DeFi advantages, Ripple's Chief Technology Officer David Schwartz has stressed that the company is currently concentrating on incorporating the financial and technical aspects of XRP Ledger into its own operations. And that's where they hope to finish, surely? They want Ripple's XRP and the XRP Ledger to be integral parts of the platform. In addition, I believe it to be the final outcome. Because of this, Ripple is giving it a lot of attention. Why would Ripple seek out candidates with experience in institutional DeFi initiatives on the XRP Ledger? That is the question I want to ask. What is the reason behind Ripple's prolonged promotion of the XRP Ledger? Their long-term support for the XRP Ledger begs the question, why? It's because they intend to use XRP for what it is, and completely embrace the XRP Ledger for what it is. This is how the XRP Ledger becomes the foundation upon which Ripple and all of its operations rest. Also, XRP, this is the feature, in my opinion. Outside of this, keep in mind that everything revolves around institutional defiance, particularly tokenization, here in 2023, with a worldwide GDP of 105,000,000,000,000, 026, 000,000,000.00 in the US alone, and Ripple's are Ripple. If the World Economic Forum's forecast that tokenization will account for 10% of global GDP by 2027 is correct, as pointed out by Brooks Entwistle, then, by that year, almost $10 trillion will have been tokenized. Just think about the ripple effect that will affect the space and the assets used for tokenization. At the moment, people tend to forget that the retail network impact of buying, selling, and trading Bitcoin is the main reason its price is so high. View my video. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye for now.